Today's episode is brought to you by Modern Grower. Modern Grower is your source for time and labor-saving farm tools, such as the Paper Pot Transplanter, Quick Click Seeder, and the Jang Direct Seeder. Turn laborsome tasks into free time with tools by Modern Grower.
Yeah, I joked with a farmer the other day that my cover crop of choice is native seasonal grasses. You know, just insinuating that it's whatever's growing, it's the weeds.
It's whatever's growing.
It's actually had that happen recently. I had a block that was just so overgrown, and it's like, you know what? I'm just going to mow everything down and we're going to tarp it. And even though, maybe those are more rhizomatous grasses and I really need to get them out of there, but it's like, but they're still photosynthesizing. They're still having some sort of a symbiotic relationship with the things in the soil, and they are still, carbon, they're organic matter. And so if that's what we have right now, then that's going to be far better than ripping everything out of the ground, root and all, and throwing it onto a pile to break down somewhere.
Yeah.
It
is.
Yeah.
And maybe this is a new concept that I'm kind of fascinated with. I'm trying to figure out, but these guys that have studied weeds and say that every weed has, it's trying to repair something.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, oh, that's a little too foo-foo for me.
Yeah.
And now I'm looking on my farm. The first 2 years, I'd have these little patches of Florida beggarweed. No, not a few Florida beggarweed, but it was the sandspurs. And then I looked it up and found out this, I think, was a calcium deficiency, and it would be in patches. And then this past year, one little area, all of a sudden, these thistles came up. Never seen them before. Well, it's something is deficient in that soil, and maybe that's the weed that can go down and mine. Who knows what it is? Molybdenum, or cobalt, or something is missing. So I spent my whole career, weeds were the enemy.
Yeah.
I mean, what can I spray on that weed to kill it? I mean, that's I'm embarrassed to say. That was my job. I kill insects, kill fungi, kill nematodes. That's what I was an expert at. I knew how to do it. And now I realize, man, they've all got their place. So
yeah, on your website, I believe it's your frequently asked questions. You have one that says, "Why do organic farms look raggedy?" And I believe that I haven't taken the time to actually look at the answer. I just had it in front of me, but I imagine that this is part of the answer to that question.
Yeah, that's the answer. And we're growing cover crops. I seed 10 species of cover crop in the winter and the fall. Man, there is nothing finer than in February, March, and April, walking through my grove and the clovers and the hairy vetch, everything is 2 feet deep, and it's just beautiful. And I know everything is contributing to the soil and building it. My organic matter is increasing. It's gone up. It's doubled, but in 4 years. I mean, it's a slow process, but I know what a big change that makes.
Yeah,
raggedy doesn't bother me anymore.
Yeah, that's good. It doesn't have to be Instagram worthy, or maybe we just need to change our definitions of what Instagram worthy means. But it's interesting because now you have me thinking about that, about the weeds and what are they telling us about the soil? And I can't prove that this is what it is. This is totally conjecture. But I find it interesting that the property that we're on. So we assumed the property at the end of 23, started in the process of forming our kind of permanent no-till market garden beds, farm through 24, and then obviously now we're into 25. So I've had 2 springs and coming into our second summer. I never saw a single clover, never saw a single vetch. Nothing like that was popping up in the rows, in the walkways, or whatever. And this spring, it's like the vetch and the clover have just exploded. And ironically, and it's not ironic, this might be part of what we've been talking about, that it's like, but in my beds, what I've seen issues with is things like our kale, things with our arugula, just really seem to be stunted and yellowed. And I've got this sense that I had a lack of nitrogen. And so I'm now wondering if maybe it's those nitrogen fixers, those legumes, are responding to lower nitrogen levels in the soil and are trying to proliferate to then bring balance back into the soil.
It's amazing that these weed seeds are there and they're dormant. They found grain seeds in the pyramids, and they germinated.
Yeah.
They're thousands of years old. So those weed seeds are there, and like you say, I'm still becoming convinced whether it's that it seems to be that they're coming up to fulfill a need to repair, to bring that soil back. So if you've been on that farm for 2 years, you've got some history that you're probably working through, and maybe a couple of more years before something that was put out. Some of the herbicides, that might have been used previously finally have a chance to break down and be gone. So, it's hard to know what the yellowing might be due to. It could be residual something that's left over in that soil.
Hello, growers. Protect your crops from harmful insects with Modern Growers Insectinet. This top-tier insect netting made by Modern Grower shields your plants from pests and harsh weather, boosting your yields without harmful sprays. Insectinet's unique design allows 90% of the light to pass through and is easy to use with low tunnel systems like our Quick Hoops. It's soft, elastic, and durable, perfect for field use to help ensure that your crops thrive. Say goodbye to pest damage and hello to healthier, market-ready produce. Invest in Insectinet and see the difference it makes. Get Insectinet at shop.moderngrower.co or using the link below.